myself, Amanda Was.
And Patrick outside.
Welcome to it's episode 3,
The DJ episode.
the DJ episode. And first of all, we'd like to introduce the guy from up north, which is
Hey, I go by the name of Graham, aka DJ G2, aka that guy, aka Hollywood G. I don't know how many AKAs I can go on, but thank you for having me, boys.
Thank you for joining us. And we're gonna go to the Midlands from Birmingham. Who do we have?
Yes, DJ Fricktion, originally from Birmingham, but I am now residing in London. Thanks for having me,
DJ
guys.
Fricktion. That's good.
Thanks for
good.
joining us.
And then going down south to London, we have
Me, Martin T. Smoove. Thanks for
Yes.
having me as well, man. Like,
Pleasure.
appreciate
welcome.
being with you this evening, gentlemen.
So you guys know we started this podcast called Keep It Moving, and you guys have been super supportive and appreciate that. And the idea was to bring on our day one DJs, people that have known us for like 10 years deep, have kind of seen us grow as a business, and we've also seen your careers grow. And we're going to keep doing DJ segments on these episodes. So we wanted to kind of start with you guys and kind of just talk your shit, like, you know, tell us what you're doing and tell us how you met us and how we met you guys and what went down and what did you expect when you first met us, and now what do you guys see us doing, and say the truth, like whatever you guys was
we're here
thinking,
just
feeling.
to keep it 100.
Even the behind the scenes stories are coming
Even
out.
the behind the scenes to
Keep it
a
PG,
degree.
G2. Keep it PG. So should we start with mine?
Go on then. So I've known you guys from, I don't even know what year it was, but I always knew you guys as the guys for supplying artists and connecting artists with like clubs and parties. And our first meeting must have been through Ministry of Sound Milkshake. You must have brought one of the big US acts over to the student night that I was working on and still working on. So I knew you from then. So I didn't know you from the like day one, but I knew you from when you were, you know, emerging as those guys that supplied American artists to clubs.
I remember meeting you, mine, at this event we did, shout out to Hanif, with Travis McCoy and Bruno Mars at the
Oh,
Fabric.
bro, that was legendary.
So you were DJing at that event, and I was like, yo, who's this DJ? It's sick DJ. And I just turn around and see some Indian brother like DJing crazy, and I was like, oh, that's Martin. And then we met outside the club, and you had this Louis V bag. I was like, this guy's rich as well.
Got that dough.
He had a Louis V bag. And you had money in
I
that
wish
Louis
I
V
did, I
bag.
wish I did.
No, you did, bro. You had that LV bag. I remember.
You're stunning back then, bro.
And I was like, yo, I was like, mine's got it. So then we kind of spoke outside of that venue. And you were just like, yo, man, like if you ever need a DJ, boom, 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 I can do this. And I was like, nah, you're dope. That's my first time I remember meeting you.
And that was a legendary night, man. Like,
Yeah,
I remember,
that was bad.
like,
Yeah.
we had to, you had to pull back the artists in terms of performing on time because the crowd was so busy and pushing towards the front. We had to kind of
It was jazz.
make sure everything was safe. And yeah, that was a crazy night, man. I think that was one of Bruno's first performances in the UK, right?
That was the first party. He was supporting Travis McCoy on that tour.
Did they have the correct rider?
I never have the correct rider. Hanif never has the correct rider. Ever.
Yeah, but you guys break everyone's balls because you run a tight ship. Like, you know what it's like with promoters. Promoters just want to get it done.
Save
They want to
all
get
the
them cheap
dimes.
bottles, man.
Save all the money. No, but what I remember about that event was Travi came out, and then Bruno obviously came out and did the hook for Billionaire, and Travi did the verses, and people were losing their minds. And Bruno was like, yo, I didn't expect it to be like this. And then we went back to a dressing room. He was like, yo, what was that all about? And I was just like, yo, that was the vibe, you know? But it was sick. It was a good vibe. Really good night.
No, it was wicked. And I actually remember that night, like, we had to stop playing music at some points to try and get the crowd to move back. And they weren't doing that. So then we started playing stuff like slow jams. And then I went into the
and
dressing room.
then you
with
get
my
the brother in the back trying to do the slow dance.
Yeah, like because we needed to get them to move back, and then I remember having to try and talk to the crowd, and then I went into the dressing room and apologized to Patrick, and Bruno was in there, and I said, "Look, I'm sorry about that, guys. Like, I know you want it to be like super hype, but we have to try and calm it down outside." And then I distinctly remember Bruno goes, "What you talking about, man? I love Genuine."
Yeah, loves it. That was a vibe. It was a sick night. But that's my first time meeting you, Martin. P, do you remember me, Martin, then?
Yeah, no, I do. I think he was you doing at first the cloakroom or at the door getting the money?
He was DJ, man.
I'm sure I see him first at getting the money or something.
You won't believe this. Like, I did a tour with Eve in like 2016. We did all the arenas and stuff in the States and Canada, and with Gwen Stefani. And then I was booked to play at a Carnival after party with Hanif, yeah. And he made me the first date back after the tour. When I came back to London, we had a break in the tour for 6 weeks. He made me sit on the till for the first 2 hours collecting money.
You know what? You gotta do what you gotta do though sometimes, right?
Yeah, that's teamwork, man. And like,
Yeah, that's right. Teamwork makes the dream work.
I'm massively indebted to that team, man. Like, they put on great events, and like I'll always do whatever, play the position that I need to play to help the team move forward. You know what I mean? There's no I in team, and I know that Michael Jordan said there's an I in win, but still, like
that's MJ. That's just different.
All right, let's keep it moving to a man like Fricktion.
I think one of the first time I must have started working with you guys was around 2004. I think it was the Kanye West album launch parties in Birmingham. And yeah, exactly. And I dressed up as the Kanye West bear.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think for maybe a year before that we were talking, and I think I was trying to move some of those parties over in Birmingham and up north. Yeah, so that's like, you're right, G2.
My parents are asking me why have I not ate. But don't worry, they're going upstairs, so we can continue this.
Yeah, so the Works in Birmingham, that event was there, and then subsequently after that, we did a few more of those launch parties, and so those were some of my first memories working with you guys doing those launch parties. Def Jam, it was, wasn't it? Def Jam. Yeah.
I remember Fricktion. You were super like supportive and helpful in trying to get us going in the Midlands. Like, you were trying to connect the dots and link us to promoters and trying to book the parties in. I remember early on. So yeah, you were super. You've always been on your grind, but I remember back then you were like super on it. And
appreciate that, man.
One thing that I appreciate about you was you were always hitting me up like, bro, we could do this, we could do that, we could do this. And you know, I think your work ethic is the result of why you're doing what you're doing today.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
And same with mine. Is like, you guys are like more than a DJ to us. Like, you obviously your craft is what you guys do behind the decks, but we see you guys as more than that. And we couldn't build our business if it wasn't for you guys, like your characters and how you guys see us. And then when we need to get you guys on a call, be like, hey, let's do this. And if you listen, I don't know if you guys listened to the last 2 episodes, but we talked about how important the DJ was to our business, how it really grew our business.
Yeah.
So Fricktion, shout out to you for that back in the day. I remember you did it a bit. And let's keep going north.
Yeah. So man like G2.
All right, with me, I'm not a legend like this guy is in the game, so I kind of caught on to you guys a bit.
Stop it, bro.
He's a bigger legend, man.
I kind of caught on when the bottle service clubs were the things to go to, and that's when I met Patrick and
just Patrick. I think you just met Patrick. I don't think we met. I think I kept seeing a drunk DJ and I kept avoiding him. So I was like, yo, I don't need to meet this brother right now.
That's funny.
If I was to pinpoint the first time I met you, I was still like a bartender then. Clubs like Entourage, M2, Opus, and so on. But the first time I really like got to know you guys was through a nightclub in Manchester called Circle. Because you guys used to bring in all the guys, whoever was in town, that was a big name. You guys brought them in, and that was my first thing.
Pete, Do you recall meeting G2?
I recall, I think it was Club Entourage, and I just always remember that I just see this guy always just smiling and having just crazy jokes behind the decks, and I just went with his energy. He's like a kid in a candy store with the energy, and yeah, I just think that was
Still is a kid.
He's a party guy.
You can't remember. You can't like G2. You can't deny him, man. He just like that party dude, man.
If you get to meet me and you don't see the energy guy, then I must be very upset. But throughout all the pies that came to, do you remember K2 by any chance?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you guys were working with Fabulous and
We did Drake there. First time in Manchester. Yeah.
Bro, that's the first time I met you.
yes,
Yeah,
I've got a
but
story
the
about
Who
you.
Kid, the Who Kid event.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first time I met you guys. I would say our circle.
Tight. So now that our listeners they got to know the DJs and the people, I think let's just start getting to a little conversation, and I think like tell everyone like what you guys have been up to during this quarantine.
I would start. Sorry guys, if you live in a house like this,
Parents.
hey, I'm doing a very important meeting and interview. You can't be shouting about, is this mine? Can you grab me a beer on your way back, please?
There you go, listeners.
So what I've been doing, I've started a TV show. Well, TV show if you want to call it TV. You might as well call it TV because Instagram is where the eyes are right now. And I've started a little talk show, kind of like news thing. And I do edits for other people. And times like this made me realize you can't really rely on clubs as your main income. So thank God
You just realized that now. G2.
I've just been chilling, bro.
That's good, man. Fricktion?
Yeah, I have kept myself busy mostly making music. So 90% of all my time during quarantine has been making music. I'm yet to do a live DJ set. I'm going to do one at some point, but I built a studio in Park Royal, and there's artists coming through quite a few throughout the week, and just making music.
So Fricktion, you're a producer as well as a DJ, right?
Yeah, so I've always been producing. I studied at university. I did Point Blank Music School.
Amazing.
Yeah, and so I took a hiatus from making beats and making music for a couple of years to focus on my DJ career.
Okay.
Now I'm like just taking it seriously again. So
Right.
I've got some releases coming out this year, so I'm looking forward to that.
Big look.
Friction's always been making music. I
Yes,
remember
from day one.
I remember in Birmingham, he showed me all his collection and his little studio in the yard, in your bedroom.
Mate, honestly, my
remember.
beats were terrible. I was listening back to a folder of beats I made 10 years ago. They were trash, bro.
What do you mean? You had the Wu-Tang mixtape.
No, but that was a
Yes,
mixtape. But I'm talking about beats that I made myself. I listened to a folder like that from like 10 years ago. They were terrible, man. But in a way, it made me feel good. At least my ears improved, you know?
Of course, progression.
Martin?
What have I been doing in quarantine? It's mad. It's a mad adjustment because like maybe in the last 2 years I'd be doing like 250 gigs a year.
Okay, all right, okay,
So
all right.
Martin, you don't have to sell yourself.
Mine is the flex.
Take up your Martin.
No, but what I'm trying to let me finish my point. God damn it. No, so what I'm trying to say is like going
G2
from
does 5 a month.
It's been a real adjustment, man. Like, just not having a schedule to go on. Like, at this moment in time, I should have been on tour. So just kind of like doing a lot of streaming, making sure my accounts are all sorted, just doing things like that, really, man. And trying to stay creative within the music, like doing a few videos online, and things like that.
Yeah, I see your videos are quite creative as well, man.
Yeah, they're always, man. Like, I think that, like, if you're gonna put stuff out, it has to be like G2 will probably agree, man. It's got to be represent you, man. It's got to be creative. Like your online, your social media persona is your billboard, man. So you've got to make sure that you put the best you out there.
For sure.
Yeah, you've done well with that, Martin. I think you've always been creative and always look after your brand, and I've always tried to. I mean, your progression as a student DJ to doing all these corporate gigs now and being tied into like doing some cool shit around the world is kind of it's the process that you went through to do it, and now you're at this place where you're actually making it happen, like Fricktion. I don't know what G2's doing, but we'll get to that. So as a DJ, you guys have been DJing for a long time in the student circuit, right? And you guys have done all those graveyard shifts and the £50 DJ sets for like 3 hours. You're getting £50, £100, whatever you were getting.
Yeah.
And now you guys are earning some serious money and traveling the globe. Where do you think it changed for you, and why do you think you're in this position today? Anyone can go first.
Yeah. Go on, Martin, you can go first.
I don't think there's been one change, man. There's not been like one break. Constant small steps. Like, people don't realize how many nights it takes to be an overnight success or whatever. Like, there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, and loads of parties that aren't super cool that you have to play to build up the hours. But then that one person sees you play, and then you can move on to the next level. It's just a lot of different levels. Like, I would say in 2013, when in the same year, I started DJing for Eve, which was a big look for me. And then I did a PR person's birthday. And then on that birthday, there was pretty much everyone from the British.
Bro, you mentioned Eve a few times now, man.
No, he's been on the road with Eve for a minute. No, you linked me with Eve. You introed me to Eve, and we got some business going. So thanks for that too, man.
Nah, always, man. Like, you guys look after the artists, don't you, man? Like, you have their best interests at heart, man. And
I think we try to look after everybody, man. In like within a circle, and we're doing business with.
We always care about having a good rapport with everybody in the music sector, regardless of position, status, tax bracket. It doesn't matter. Like, we're gonna be cool with you if there's a mutual respect, and that's what we believe in. I may, sometimes in the past where you guys have seen us do stuff, and you're like, yo, why didn't they come and check us for this or come and check us for that? Like, why aren't they calling me to do that? But I believe in a process, and I believe like...
You've always said that.
Yeah,
and you know what? We had a meeting one time, and it was maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. No, maybe longer. I don't know, but it was like in High Street, Kensington. And I just thought, why are these guys... Look, I'm on it, man. We're on the cusp of doing something good. Why don't you guys... And then you always said about the process. And then a few years later, you gave me the time to kind of maybe work on myself, work on my brand and that. And then the process has come 360, I guess. And
I just want to cut in there. When Amir said to you about like the process, how did that make you feel? Did it make you like...
Mine wasn't happy.
Yeah, obviously, but you know what? You get so many like knocks in this industry. Like, there's so many near misses. So you just have to take it on the chin. You take your near misses the same way as you take a win. Or like, you can't let it affect you too much, man. You just gotta, like the name of the podcast, you gotta keep it moving.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Facts.
And you know what, mine, like, one thing that I just finished off it, like, one thing that I noticed that my words probably then you didn't like, but fast forward, you think back and go, yo, this dude had something to say of value, and it's only, if it's not pushed you to be better, it's maybe made you feel like, okay, cool, this dude had a point. Hence why today...
It was only till recently I thought, I agree with it, man, because it's, like you said, it's a process, man, and timing's got to be right on both, for relationship, timing's got to be right on both parties, isn't it? You've got to believe in the product that you're selling, and the product's got to be right for the person that's selling it.
And the stars have got to align.
Of course. That's one of the biggest parts.
Yeah.
Go on, Fricktion, sorry.
Nah, just touching on what you were saying, the stars have to align. That's one of the biggest parts right there.
I think with Fricktion as well, like, me and Fricktion had a lot of back and forths on things, and Fricktion went out and figured it out and came back a global DJ, like, who's in, you do residency in West End now and all over US. So do you remember that time, Fricktion, when we had a conversation about doing stuff and
I remember many conversations about
just give me the nice conversation we had. All right, keep.
To be fair, I only tend to remember the positive ones, and I think that I've always listened to you guys, and you know, especially yourself, Amir, with the advice you've given me. And yeah, you have always said, trust the process. It's all about the process, and you're right, because it's never been an overnight thing. And you know, for myself, starting out in Birmingham, I only really DJed in Birmingham for a couple of years. I started my career in London, and I was in London for 6 years before I went back to Birmingham. So for me, I always knew I was going to go back to London to, I wouldn't say finish my career, but continue my career. But yeah, so that was always part of the process. And to be fair, I'd say that things only really took off for me when I came back to London, because in Birmingham, I felt I was stagnating a little bit.
Yeah. I recall that conversation.
Yeah, majority of all the contacts I had were London based anyway. So like all of my friends are like based in London. So
you felt like, yeah, let me check out of Birmingham because not a lot's happening for me, and there's more opportunities in London.
I love Birmingham. It's always going to be, you know, my heart and my roots. But you know, I don't really feel like I progressed in crazy strides being in Birmingham. There wasn't really that in order for me to achieve what I wanted to achieve, I couldn't do it in Birmingham. I had to go to London. So yeah. But yeah, like touching on that conversation that me and you had, Amir, about moving forward, and you told me that yourself. So yeah.
And you went out there, and credit to you, man. You went out there and made it happen. Like, I feel like being in this business and being independent fully and doing this like ourselves, we realized only you got you, right? It's great to have peers, and it's great to have colleagues, and everybody's going to be there when, you know, things are great. And even when things are great, they're going to support you. But if you got you and you're going to put that work in, you will achieve some level of success. And that success will breed more success because people want to be around that energy. And what I learned the hard way was there's nobody coming like to save anyone.
No.
It's you, and that's it.
Nobody owes anyone anything.
That's
absolutely
right.
In this game, no one owes anyone anything. You only owe yourself.
That's right.
Fact. Man like G2.
Fricktion and Martin really covered everything. So, but also while I'll add on that, it's like you said, no one really owes you anything. I remember like when Patrick used to bring all the stars around, I'm like, yo, put me on a warm up for this. I can see live basses at the bottom. But at the time, I ain't really done my work. I ain't done my 10,000 hours for Patrick.
You didn't do that slave labor.
That's the hustle, though.
Like,
that's the hustle, yeah.
It's the hustle.
That's the hustle. And to see where we are now, I don't even get to ask anymore. Patrick's like, yo, you want to play at Wireless? I'm like, damn, why couldn't you say this 4 years ago, bro? Like, I mean, but I didn't say that. But inside, I was like, damn. But it shows that I've put in the work, and sometimes you got to graft. And also, you never know who's watching you. So Patrick could have been watching from afar, but now clearly he has.
Yeah, you know, it's like I say, it's an automatic process. It's like you kind of doing all the work, but you believe it or not, we actually see what these guys, like you guys, are doing. So like when opportunities arise, we're like, oh, straight away, G2, let's go. Martin, let's go. Fricktion, let's go.
I really didn't understand that, because I'm like, this guy will come in, give me high fives. You're chilling with all these celebs. You sure you can just slide me in, not knowing like, yo,
pause.
I'm kind of hours into this game before you get.
Those early days, man. I was gassed on all of that celebrity shit in those early days, man. Wanting to meet the celeb and get a photo and all of that, and then you just
who was the guy from you guys who was at the hotel?
Fricktion was heavy on the pictures. Bro, can I get a picture, bro? Can I get a picture, bro?
I used to think that's what it was, right? That's what's gonna get you the clout, and that's what's gonna get you credibility. And then you know, you mature and you think, I can't even be bothered to leave my house to go see Drake, you know?
Oh, wait. Have we stopped the celebrity picture thing? I'm still...
No, you can still do it.
Oh, jokes. Nah, tight. You know, also, guys, I had a question. So, like, you guys are all DJs, yeah? But what makes you, like, special? Like, what gives you the edge over all the other DJs?
That's
'Cause
that's a bit of a trick question.
Because you know what it is? Because I'm a DJ myself.
No.
Well, I used to be a DJ, but I understand the process as well. So, but it'd be obviously good for you guys to explain that to the listeners.
I'll take this one. One, I feel like if you're coming to see a DJ, what song are they really playing that makes them stand out? Because everyone can sign up to a record pool now. And mine can have the same song, Fricktion can have the same song.
Exactly.
Such and such down the road can have the same song.
Yeah.
So that's why I would like to throw in a few songs in my sets. Let's just say, Show Me Love in a hip hop night. Everyone knows Show Me Love.
Yeah.
Or damn, I get on the mic, talk some crazy stuff. or just have mad energy, like
energy.
Like, you know what? I was in this club. I saw this DJ. He probably didn't see me, but in the DJ box, he looked like he's enjoying every song he played, and that's me.
Sure. So that's your USP.
That's my thing. So yeah, he'd be like, you know what? We went in there. The guy was really shelling it down, and that's my energy. I bring energy to separate me from the other guys.
So, who we're getting to next?
And it's this unique energy as well, man. Like
That's right. Yeah.
Replicate.
That's true. Fricktion. What about you?
To be fair, touching on what G2 said, I think he touched on. I can relate to a lot what he just said. G2. I wouldn't say I'm as energetic as you though, G2, but I'm not. You've got your own uniqueness, bro. I got to give it to you. But in my sets, I will try and throw in songs that most DJs aren't playing, or you wouldn't expect them to play. Or, to be fair, on the most part, it's how you play the song rather than the songs that you're playing. So I may like make my own edits, or, but yeah, like I think more so the way in which I play is my own unique style, and it's very energetic in the club.
Sure. Mine?
I think people book me because it's fun, man. I'll have a fun set. You'll have a fun time. Like, it doesn't matter if there's 2 people or 2,000 people, whatever. Like, I will make sure that
they remember you.
Yeah, for sure, man. Whether it's good visuals, whether it's good mic work, whether it's song selection, just whether it's crowd interaction, I'll do whatever I can to make sure it's memorable.
Cool.
I just want to add here, like, I think it's all of that and your personality.
Yeah.
Because all you guys are like have a different energy with people. You guys know how to build rapport with people. I think a DJ is, like we said earlier, is more than what you guys do behind the decks. It's relationship building and how you guys kind of like work with those relationships and build other opportunities. Like, you know, like mine, you've done a lot in that sector. Like, you've kept, everybody likes you. You're a likable dude. Like, all you guys are very likable. Fricktion left Birmingham, was like, cool, like, I've hit the ceiling. There's nothing else I can do here. And in order to grow my brand and get my business global, I need to go to London. And he made that adjustment and got into the West End scene and figured it out from there. And G2's obviously his personalities kept people, like, he's always in demand. And people always want to, you know, gravitate to you to work with you. And you're easygoing. Artists fuck with you too if you're spinning. They feel like, yo, who's that crazy dude drinking beer and DJing, you know? So yeah, I think it's all your individual personalities that have driven this success.
Yeah. Great.
What about for you guys as live based, in terms of like, when did you have your like moment where you thought, wow, this is really taking off right now? Or like, I know you mentioned some party that you did in London with Drake or something, but like, is there been other steps where you're now fucking with brands and things like that? Where did you think, like, you'd have got led down to this point, and it was a point where you thought, shit, we could really make something big out of this?
Okay, this is gonna sound cocky, yeah. So 2004, when I did that Kanye West event, that was it for me. I knew I can make this global. I just knew it's gonna take me time, and I need to be resourceful, and I need to be patient, and to earn my stripes. I need people to respect me, and that means not doing everything at one go, not trying to be like, I've never tried to be the man. Like, I've always trying to be the business. So if it didn't make sense, fine, I'll wait. I'll be patient. I'll go and figure something else out. And I always wanted to attract the right people. And it was always about the business-minded people, the people that cared about doing all the other bullshit like people want to do and get caught up in that. That's great. That's whatever works for them. But for me, work that I wanted to work with serious people that cared about building a business, that understood and respected us. If you didn't respect us, I wasn't with it. I was just like, fine, just work with someone else.
Yeah.
Because I know what we're offering. And it's like, that's a testament to today. Like I'm talking to like 3 of you guys and you guys have known us for what, a decade? No, actually Friction's known us longer, but it's always been, we will get there. Just do it with integrity, do it with class, and make sure that we don't do anyone dirty. And we've always been guys, stand-up guys, and we're always trying to be legit with everybody. So we can't win everyone over. We can't make everyone happy. It's impossible. But if we stay to our core values and stay focused, there's not much can go wrong. And people have seen that. Like organizations have seen that, whether it's a huge $1 billion brand we're working with or some club in, I don't know, like Leeds, like we give them the same respect and we work with them all good. So I guess that's probably the best way I can answer.
People don't realize how important doing your job consistently well, consistently is how important it is, man. Just being consistent, like you mentioned, man, just treating people well and doing the job well, man.
And I think that's something that we've been talking about in the last podcast is like people kind of look at kind of what we're doing and also look at what you guys are doing and think, like how did they get there? But they don't realize what goes in from the start. They
What
just see the-
sacrifices have been made and all of that.
Exactly that. Exactly. Dope, man.
So do you guys feel like as a business that we have grown to the level we were supposed to grow? Do you think there's more we can do, or do you feel like we've been serving people well, or do you think we can improve on? Because we're all about the criticism. Give us the feedback.
We want to be better.
Yeah.
How can we be better?
Friction.
G2, this is when you come into
Yeah,
it, man.
we gotta be short on these answers, like quick fire answers from the dome.
I can't even think of where you guys could improve. I don't know. Maybe start taking on some DJs. You know, the guys that have known you the longest.
That's a shot. I'm gonna do. I need an effect sample in there, man. It's a shot.
That needs to be edited. No doubt. No
You need to
doubt.
start looking after the underdogs. You know, some of these Martin gigs. Can you slide me one of those? You know what I mean?
G2, you need to start turning up.
With all good time, man, good things will happen, you know?
Big facts. Timing is everything.
I will say this though, like in the last couple of years, like your visual stuff on the gram is like you really stepped it up, man.
Yeah, it's pretty sick to be fair.
Like
Sick.
just keep
Thanks.
going, don't stop.
Yeah, your branding's sick. Your branding's very classy. I like it. It's not beggy, it's classy.
Big facts.
I like that. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. It took us a while. I always had this vision that we can be better visually, and finally we're getting there, you know? So there's more we need to be doing. Like you guys have always kept your brand elevating, so we got to keep up. But yeah.
Now you guys are smashing it, man. So you should tell us how we need to improve our DJ sets, you know what I mean, or our visuals to match with your brand. What kind of brand?
No, I think it goes back to your personalities, right? You guys all have a representation of how you guys want to be seen.
Yeah.
We can't tell you that. Like that's how you guys move. But what I would say is just relationships. Better your relationships. You guys already like know so many people and done so many great things. Think about the things that you guys do that win, and think about the things you guys do which give you some L's, and learn from them. That's it. It's pretty simple. Like Martin said, consistency, right? Are we on?
Guys, on another note, just hold the line.
Are we continuing?
Just
You guys went for a bed break. So, what advice would you guys give someone who wants to come up in the DJ circuit and is from a small town or just super young and wants to get into the scene? So G2, we'll start with you and keep passing Fricktion.
The big advice I'll give like people trying to come up now is, I would say Instagram is like your business card. So whatever is on your gram, make sure your visuals is dope like Martin, or your personality comes through like me, or you're showing that your connection game is strong like Fricktion. But also,
I like that.
if you can combine them three together, you're the guy. And also, if you can study the people that you really look up to and try and do better than what they're doing. And also, don't be afraid to do it. Like, back in the day, we used to do mixtapes and record them and give it to one of you guys where you're looking after an artist, not knowing that you guys are like super stressed. You don't want to be handing out CDs.
Mir, did you ever listen to it?
No. I'm like, G2, now's not the time.
We're busy, bro.
To who?
Go for it. Go for it. And don't be afraid to send that cold email. Send a cold email. You never know. That's
Cold or cold?
Cold email.
Cold. Okay. So G2, you are heavy on the Instagram, right?
Yeah.
So are you one of those guys who slides in everyone's DMs to let them know you're doing a gig? And
if I really like the gig, let's say it's a gig where they're playing Motown, old school, disco funk, and I feel like I can come down to your rave and shell it down. I wouldn't mind dropping that DM, be like, yo, I'm in your city. I've got my laptop. Can I get on a warm up? I don't want no rocks. If you like what you like, and I know how to play my role as a warm up, let me rock.
Yo, wait there. I remember. I'm gonna give a little story actually about G2. I think it was after Wireless time, and he's like, "Yo, P, what are we saying? Can we get a little set?" I'm like, "Yeah, come through." So I think he was walking around the club. I was like, "Yo, whole time I'm gonna get you on the decks." I managed to get him like a little spot, and I was walking around the club looking for him. G2 was gone. Couldn't see him nowhere.
what club was this?
This is that tape.
Bruh, what were you
I
doing?
was like, "Yo, bro, where you going?"
Hold on.
But I think G2 was drunk.
No, it wasn't that. One, thank you for
Good.
the Wireless plug.
Good.
I was tired from Wireless. And two, like sometimes
Sounds like
I
excuse
really
you.
forget like you guys have got like alias celebrities to look after. I do not know what music Travis Scott likes, but you guys know that his DJ was gonna play what he likes. So G, you can just fall back for a second. I got you. But you're forgetting, I've been at a festival dancing and drinking. I'm like, damn. Coming up.
You weren't ready. You weren't ready.
Yeah.
Well, you.
I left in a nice way. I didn't even say bye. I was like, I'll text you on your way out. By the time you text me, it was like 10 minutes after I left. Yo, G, where are you? Where's your stop?
Yeah, exactly. That was the time, man.
Reason, innit?
That was the time.
Yeah, mine.
What would I say? Fricktion, man. We're going to go work our way from Manchester, Birmingham to London, man.
Okay, let's
Sorry,
go.
sorry.
Fricktion.
So we're going to the Midlands, yeah?
Yeah.
So I had to, my back was hurting. I think
Yo, what was hurting?
my back was hurting.
Okay.
This is some kind of body chair. So I think the biggest thing for me is try to do something that's going to separate you from everyone else. Yeah. So and I guess it's just harder now because of the social media age. All the DJs are doing very similar things. There's very few DJs that are really separating themselves compared to our era when it was more skill based. And when I came up, I was very fearless coming into the scene. I was very fearless and almost a pest, like networking.
You were definitely annoying.
Yeah,
I think that got you through those doors.
yeah. Like
That just proves it. Like when you just keep like persevering, you eventually break down that door, man.
Yeah. And so that's true. So like for me, I know that works and it worked for me, but no one remembers it in a bad way. They only remember it in a positive, good way because I was so determined. And so I think that being able to like be aware that this is something that you're going to do is going to stop you from worrying about what someone else is going to think about you. If you're going to take that method, you know what I mean? And so for me, it was more about just constantly persevering and knocking on people's doors and like being a pest. And for me, that worked. And so doing whatever you can to like separate yourself from other DJs, whether it's having a crazy black book of networking contacts to crazy skills. And I wouldn't say I've got ridiculous crazy skills like DJ Cuba or anything, but I'm good enough for me to have credible gigs. But it's the rest of the things that add to my DJ brand. So, you know, like DJ G2 said, that is a combination of different things that's really going to make you stand out, not just skills alone.
Yeah.
You know, like going back to
yeah, it's a package, definitely.
No, for real. Fricktion, going back to what you said about being a pest almost. Like DJ Khaled is a great example of that. Like Khaled is relentless of like getting what he wants. Like there's a story he talks about how, you know, in that song he did with T.I. and Akon. I forgot the name of the song. But there's a song he wanted. Yes, that's the one. And Akon was like, obviously at that time Akon was peak. Like he was the guy. And Khaled was trying to get him on a song, and obviously Akon did. Yeah, I'll do it, but never did it. So Khaled just was pesting this guy everywhere he went. Somebody's giving Akon a phone, like, yo, Khaled's on the phone. To the point where Akon couldn't go nowhere without Khaled getting on the phone to him, like, yo, I need you to do this. I need you to do this. So there's no shame in it.
No,
there's no shame in it.
That's part of it.
Yeah, I feel like he got what he wanted, and he still does it. Hence why he's got everyone and everything on his project. That guy is relentless in like getting his thing. So I think that advice you gave there is major key for sure.
100, yeah.
Mine. What are you saying?
Go on. No, Fricktion, you were going to say something.
No, I just said 100.
Yeah. What would I say? I think, don't be afraid to do things for like developing relationships. For example, like there might be a job that you don't particularly like, but it might open certain doors, and you should take opportunities when you can. It may not be the end goal, but sometimes you got to take a step back to take 2 steps forward and develop relationships, man. Make sure it's organic and do things that represent you. Like if you like a certain artist, like I like, for example, I said I like Kanye a lot. So I set up a Kanye night and like do things that represent you, man. Like I think when Fricktion was coming up, his mixtapes would be hosted by like these American artists, Kendrick Lamar or like RZA, Wu-Tang. Like that set him apart, man. Do things that represent you and use your relationships.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Appreciate that, man.
That's great advice. So you guys,
and it's a lot easier nowadays as well. Like from when we were coming up, we didn't have the opportunity to slide in someone's DMs or email someone that we didn't really know that easily. So like now
you have to keep turning up to places.
Emails available. You have everyone's inboxes there in front of you. Be creative when you hit someone's DMs. Like make sure you stand out when you drop someone's rather than, hey, listen to my track. Like do something that will capture their attention, that will make that memorable, and then it'll be like, I'm gonna listen to that link.
Guys, I need to send you a mix of me from back in the day, and you can tell me how I stood out in it.
DJ Clinch.
Garage DJ, weren't you?
You got to get to know guys, man.
Yeah, Martin just asked you.
Yeah, garage DJ, yeah. But not just garage.
Do you remember Hot Pepper's Revenge?
No, what's that?
Come on, you ain't garage DJ if you don't remember Hot Pepper's Revenge.
That sounds like a meal, bro.
Listening to your first podcast and you saying that you were a DJ, do you know how happy I was to hear that?
Yeah.
And now I'm thinking, okay, so next time you book me, are we going back to back or? Old school.
Nah, you know what's funny? I actually started to bring my decks and stuff back in again, so I'm gonna bring my records
There we
and
go. That's what I'm talking about.
go back in the past and
I'd like to
reminisce
see that.
on some
I'd like to
vibes.
see that.
I'll pay to see that.
I'm gonna sing you some songs, some dub plates that I used to run back in the day as well.
Oh, he's talking smack talk now.
Hater. These haters, man.
So guys, now with all this, with the virus and this current circumstances we are in, how do you feel? What's gonna happen for the DJ now moving forward? Silence. A lot of concerned faces.
Fricktion, go to you quickly. All right.
To me, I feel like it's gonna go 2 ways. You're gonna get the young bucks that live the yellow life, you know, you only live once. So as anything is lifted off, they're gonna run to the clubs. Then you're gonna get the people with kids, families, and everyone they need to look after. And I'm afraid of this virus. I don't want to be the first guinea pig to run out, then bring the disease back home. Or 3, it's gonna cut down into small businesses. I feel like if people start doing house parties and the DJ just comes by himself and you DJ for a family from the living room or something, I don't see clubs opening anytime soon.
Nah.
That's where I'm at with my head right now. And I've been talking to the club owners. They don't think we're going to open. We're going to be the last ones to open.
Absolutely will be the last one.
Yeah.
But there will always be a need for young people to go out and party, man. Like, there will always be, like, if clubs don't open, there will be some form of entertainment where they will need DJs or live musicians to entertain them while they're drinking and stuff like that. So I don't think it will end clubs. And I also think as DJs, we just move with the times like we always have. Like, we'll move from the vinyl days to the CD days, from the CD days to the download days. You just move with technology, you embrace it, and I hate to say it again, but no pun intended, but you keep it moving.
You like that, innit? You like that, Martin. We need those t-shirts, man.
Fricktion, what's your take on it?
Literally what you guys just said, Martin and G2. I don't really have any other opinion other than that, to be honest. I think it's going to take a while for us to get back into the clubs. To be fair, I was hoping that maybe it would have calmed down in America, LA, New York, because I get to go over there to play quite often. So I could have just flown over there to play. But it seems like it's going to be an extra 3 months for LA now as well. So I think it's going to take a while, man. This year's done. This year's definitely done. Yeah, worst case scenario, like maybe next year, but best case scenario.
So we just got to fast forward to 2021, right? And think
Has it
about...
affected you guys?
Yeah.
I mean, like, how are you coping? And like, how are you thinking your plans are going to be after this?
You know, so I've always thought about the worst case scenarios. And one thing that I always did was like, okay, we're having a great year or great 6 months or great 3 months. That's great. But what we have to do is realize that can disappear in an instant. I didn't see a virus coming, but a law can change.
Have you always thought like that?
Always. It's just been in me as a
Are you
kid.
a realist and a pessimist then, would you say?
No, I'm very optimistic, but I'm a realist at the same time. So
So
all I know is
contingency.
Yeah, I always know that, like, I always believe that nothing is promised, right? We know this. Tomorrow's not promised. Like, we're having this conversation today. Tomorrow, God knows what's going to happen. So my whole attitude has always been, always be open-minded, always be ready for whatever comes, be prepared, be resourceful. And it goes back to what? Relationships, and be good with people. Like, when tough times don't last, tough people do, right? Or something like that. So my whole thing has always been like, be prepared when things go wrong. And to be honest, it's a blessing. I've said this in the last episode. This is kind of like, it gives us the time to reflect, reset, re-strategize, and kind of re-innovate ourselves as a business, as people, reconnect with things that we haven't been connected with for a while. So I feel like when things are getting back to whatever that new normal is, we'll be ready. Whatever it is, we'll be ready. We'll find a way. We'll make a way, If the path isn't there, we'll find another path. And I think that is how we've always been. So it's no different, man. If we have to start all over again, is what it is, But my heart really goes out to the people who don't have much, or probably not going to be in a position to deal with it.
Or if you're just starting out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my take on it. Pete, what about you? Pete's
Right,
trying to be a DJ guy. He's going back.
Yeah, you just caught me off guard. I was just doing something different. What was the question again?
You're not even paying attention.
Nah, I was
what
actually
kind of host is this?
No, I I was actually doing something else on my phone.
All right, so
There you go.
basically, what we're talking about is mine asked the question is how do we see how's this going to affect us and what's going to happen in the future and how are we dealing with it?
I think obviously short term is just finding out what's going on at the moment, and again, like how we gonna figure out what the next plan is. But it's like I've been speaking to a lot of people, and they're saying, oh, they're planning for 2021. But on another hand, I'm like, what are you planning for? Because everything is unknown right now. So we just, I guess, just gotta kind of keep monitoring things and see how it goes. In the meantime, just try and innovate and see how we can do things differently and better as well for the future and going forward.
And this is why we created this podcast.
Yeah, that's something we did say like straight away.
Yeah, in February we were like, okay, cool. If this thing happens, we have to have something that we can focus our energy in, and also all the tools.
Be creative.
Yeah, be innovative, be creative, and obviously we're not the first one doing podcasts. There's millions of those, but
I feel like it's either we gotta adopt or get left behind. What you gonna do?
What was that, G2?
I saw that on Twitter, by the way. So
no, say that again.
It's either you adopt with the times or get left behind.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's true.
So I hope whoever's listening to this session is at your phone, Patrick. Whoever's listening to this session is kind of like hopefully gets inspired by what you guys have achieved and done in your careers, and also gives that DJ, whoever that DJ is in his bedroom now trying to spin, thinking, yo, I could do it. Like these guys have clearly made a path and we can do it. So
these guys have the blueprint. So you can hit them up, and also like while we talk about hitting up, let the guys listening, the listeners, let them know where they can find you guys as well on like your socials.
Mine.
G, you want to go first?
G.
Everything to find me on is DJ G2 UK on everything.
Fricktion, come on.
Come on, Fricktion. Fricktion loves a plug. Come on.
Yeah, DJ Fricktion on all social media. DJ FRICKTION on all social media. That's how you can find me.
So
he's done that before, man. You can tell.
Plenty of times.
Fricktion Instagram stroke half model, half DJ.
What you say, bro?
I see you're a model on the Instagram, man. Looking fly.
Man, there isn't a single female on my Instagram.
What? No, you look like a model.
You're the model, bro.
I thought you said I got models on my Instagram.
You're like GQ.
You the
GQ
model, bro.
shots.
You the model.
Man, I'm trying, man.
Cool. Mine.
For me, everything Martin, the number 2 SMOOVE, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, all of that. I'm there. But you were talking about people listening and finding out how our stories as a DJs, and like you could probably learn a lot from us. But the same goes to you guys, man. Like if you're in the music industry and you want to be a connector with artists or any sort of form, the success is like, it doesn't matter what sort of field you are, but like your first 2 episodes, your resilience and stuff, the way you started out, man, you can learn from that in any sort of field, man. So big up to you too.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate
you. And also, guys, one event that you didn't throw, that you saw that the other guys that threw that party were killing it, whether it's like a party or corporate event, that you thought, you know what, I wish I did that.
That's a good question. That's a good question, actually. I like that.
You know what? I don't recall any event that somebody did. I was like, yo, we needed to be part of that. I don't recall. You know why? I can answer that actually from a really interesting perspective. We are our own competition. So we always thought, okay, cool, we need to do something better. Not why we couldn't do that. Let's go and do our own thing. Let's go and do something better. I mean, we always didn't look at what somebody else was doing and how they were doing it. We were looking at how we were doing it. Like we asked you guys, like, what can we improve on? You know, we want to know, like, so it was never an event that we saw somebody else doing. It was like, oh shit, we should be part of that. And you know, Live-Base is the number one organization that does all these great events. So there's nobody else.
Yeah, we want to be the best, but also we want to continue learning, man. Straight up.
It's the right attitude to have.
Yo, guys, we appreciate your
Listen,
time.
if you ever ask me that question, I'll be like, yeah, man, I see mine and Fricktion flying out. He's playing. Be faithful, bro. I'll be playing gigs in it, bro. Come on.
Nah, guys, yo, listen, it's been great talking with you guys and chopping it up, man. And I
Appreciate
hope
your time.
our listeners can take some advice and be a great DJ / personality like you guys are.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us,
man.
guys.
And keep it moving, guys.
Keep it moving, guys. I need that T-shirt as well.
Coming.
Keep it moving in the free world and do.
Dude.
Hey, Martin, go ahead.